Hi, what we're going to look at today is the Whirlpool WRX735SDBM. I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. We'll take some measurements and we'll go through some of the menu items in the pad area where you get the water and those type things. And we'll look at the freezer in the middle drawer and go through it. Okay, as you can see, the fridge has a stainless steel front on it. It does show some fingerprints when you grab certain areas. We've had this fridge about 30 days now, 30 to 40 days since purchase. I found with a wet cloth, just a damp cloth, I'm able to wipe them up pretty easy. And we'll go through and look at certain things in here in more detail. It's got the 3 drawers. You can't see the bottom freezer part just yet, but I'll show you guys that. And then the middle drawer for fruit and meats or whatever else you want to put in there. And then the 2 different barn door style openings that you have at the top part. And then we'll go look in detail at this. Okay, let's look at the menu across the front of the fridge in a little more detail. Like I mentioned before, you've got the different ice types you can change through. You got the light, puts a white light in here. I'll show you what that looks like. And then the pads light. It's a blue light around behind the pads. We'll look at that in just a sec. You get the choices here. Here's where you can adjust the temp on what you want to do. And then options, fast, cool, filter reset for when you change the filter, ice maker, and the lock screen if you want to lock it. If you have kids or whoever come in here and could play around with the keypad, do things. And then you have the measured fill option. So with that, you touch it, you can adjust up and down. So I'm going to take a cup and we're going to do the measured fill, show you what that looks like. You just come here and select it on how much you want. And we'll just say 5 ounces or 4, and then just touch measured fill again. And it puts exactly that amount into the cup or container, whatever you put in here. And you've got different units here. So you can say 1 cup, liters as well, or ounces. And that's what you can cycle through on what you want to have. All right, so let's take a look at the ice dispenser that we have available here. We've got cubed ice and crushed. First, I'm going to go ahead and get some cubed ice. And you don't have to press it very hard. And I found if you hold the cup up to the top up here, it doesn't spill out. So you can see I've got cubed ice here, and it filled the cup up pretty quick. Here's the size of the cube. Let it focus. Can't really get a good look at it. It's kind of the hold. You can see that there. And cup. I'm going to get some crushed ice. So you just change it here to the ice type. Again, I hold it up close here because if you hold it down here, some will spill out and get into here. But I find if you just put it here again, I'm not pushing very hard. And I'm getting crushed ice. You hear it crushing it. Alright, so you can see there. Did pretty good, so let's look at that. And you can see the crushed ice. Okay, so let's look at the lights that you have available. There's 2 different options. One is to turn this on, where you can just see this area that you're lit up in at night. That's pretty nice at nighttime. You can actually see pretty good here. And then you also have where the pads are lit up blue back behind them. You can see here. Hopefully that's showing up good. That's where I leave it all the time, or I found works good. Because if it's the middle of the night, you want to get some water or you get up, something like that, that's a perfect light to come here and be able to see real easy and find it. All right, so I've switched over to the mic that's close to the bottom of the fridge. That's as loud as this thing's ever gotten. Yeah, that's as loud, and I switched to a different mic that would pick it up better. It doesn't seem that loud to me. I haven't noticed it being abnormally loud at all. So let's go ahead and take a look in it, and we'll start with the freezer part. So the door slides out. You can see It's got a pretty good bit of room. We had a side-by-side type freezer combo, full length doors, and this holds everything that was in there as well. So you got a drawer that slides out across here. It's got lights and it's lit up pretty well, and so far so good. These are plastic bins that come out of here that you can clean. So that's the freezer section. Let's go to the middle door. You'll notice there's a light in there that's lighting it up. So in here you can see, you know, it holds a pretty good bit. And then you can adjust the temp of this in the top part. So like the container this is in, it's fairly tall, but it slides in there fine. And the door is real easy. Once you get the door about halfway, it'll just shut on its own. So you'll never have to worry about them being open. The cool thing I do like about the barn doors of the top section is that you can open either door. It doesn't matter. There's no, one doesn't have to shut before the other or whatever. It's got like this side here will fit over this surface here. There's a little piece that auto shuts in, but for, you know, it can work either way. It doesn't matter how you shut this thing. All right, so let's look at the inside here a little bit. Okay, so in this side, you've got some small drawers that are in here. This came in, you can see where the ice is. I'm not even using this one. That's in the top. And then we look in the fridge. Let me adjust my camera, give me a sec. All right, so I had to adjust my camera because the light in here, it's pretty bright. And as you can see, you can adjust these drawers or shelves any way you want to. A full regular US gallon of milk will fit in here, no problem. There's another cabinet or shelf up here. Put these items in, and then these drawers will slide out. Different things here. It's another one. And what's kind of neat, you can look down in the bottom section there, the middle one that we just pulled out. Then here's where you can adjust the drawer temps, and you can store things under here. This is one of the extra drawers that was for the fridge, but I don't use it, or not in the door. And these are some pretty good sized containers. One thing I noticed is the ice machine. You can put certain things under there as well. And then there was a small deal here, a small shelf. It may have a certain purpose, I don't know. I put eggs in it. All of these, if you spill something in them, they will contain the liquid. I think that's pretty standard. And then the water filter is actually under here. This pops down, and this is what came with the fridge. So you got a water filter that fits up in here. Looks pretty easy to get to. And you can see the light, and it's lit up pretty well, which isn't bad at all. How wide it is, how tall it is. Actually, I mean, you got the specs, and I think they were pretty accurate on what you had in here. And I'll put the numbers up here where you can see it real easy. So from the floor, at the top of the door, it's about 70 inches. So 70 inches to the top front part of the door. That's the height you're going to need. Now the fridge itself drops down on the back side, and it is about 68 and a quarter inches to the bottom part if you had to slide it up into something. So you'll notice this door, the face of the door actually comes out, protrudes out. Let's just say if your thing from the fridge face, about 2 3/4 or 3 inches. So 3 inches the distance here for the door. So you got the 70 inches here, and you're about 68.5 there. Now for the depth of how far it goes back, what you can see here is it is about, to the door itself, it's 30.5 inches. And then if we add the door handle to it, say 2, but the door curves out some. I don't know the exact distance of the curvature, but allow yourself, say, an extra 3 inches. So if we add 3 let's do 3 to 30, so 33.5. So you want a 33.5 total distance across here. The width of the fridge to slide in somewhere or fit through doors is right at about 3 foot. So the width's about 3 foot. Okay, so one thing to notice as well is the entire front is stainless steel that handles the doors, all these pieces. In this particular model, on the side, it's painted. It's not stainless. It's just regular metal, and it's painted. We've got it filled with refrigerator magnets. But that's what I knew we were going to do when I got this fridge, so that was fine with me. You may have a situation where you don't even see this. It's depending on how your kitchen's set up, so just realize that the sides are not stainless. They are painted, just regular metal, but the whole front and then even the sides of the doors are stainless steel as well. Okay, so just so you can see it, I'll show you the top of the door and what you have here. Little plastic cover. Remember I mentioned the door had a little thickness here, or the distance that you have between the door face and the fridge. So you can get a little bit better look at it here on what you have for you. And this is the bottom door area. And then I'll zoom down low so you can see what the underneath looks like. All right, and that's pretty much the fridge. I don't know what else I can show you. I should have took video of the back before I put it in, but I didn't. There's a water hookup down at the bottom and a plug. There's really not a whole lot on the back that I could have shown you. The door handles, there's little screws in here. You need to take these off to get it in to your door. And I think that's pretty much it.